what you see there, the farmers that are doing this,
Right.
they said, yeah, one picked up a suffering chicken, the other one picked up a dead chicken, and so on and so forth.
Right. What do you mean?
He's saying that's the world they live in, the same way, we live in a world too,
Yeah,
where we
but
die and suffer as well.
But do you know why they live in that world? Because humans pay for these animals to be brought into existence, to be brought into this world just to be used.
For that purpose?
Yeah, absolutely. Because if we all stopped paying these industries, these farmers, these animals would not be on this
When you
planet.
say stop paying, do you want us to be vegetarian?
Vegetarian is not good enough for the animals, so
Wow.
we're all vegan
Vegan.
here, yes. Because vegetarians still consume dairy and egg, and they still wear animal skin, they still buy products
Surely
that are
that's
tested
okay.
on
Like,
animals.
I've got a colleague that I just employed that's vegan. And
Right.
I'm happy with that, and
Yeah.
I always try to accommodate with her wherever
Right.
we go to eat.
So do you think this is okay? What
But that's
happens to
what
the
happens
animal?
with me eating meat. Like,
But how is that not relevant to your actions?
well, I don't condone that. So I would love for someone to take care of the meat where it's coming from.
But you're paying for it.
But you've shown me the worst side.
No. You can go and visit any slaughterhouse you like, any farm
And
you
they're all the
like,
same.
and they're all the same.
You probably got a point, because I went to get some eggs and they said, oh, we've got the best place here and there's barely any room to...
Exactly.
to
Free range, organic, RSPCA approved. All of these labels are made to make the consumer feel better about their choices.
I'm already convinced. I'm not here.
Yeah, well,
It's just hard.
That's
you
why
do
it's
this all your
happening.
life and then suddenly...
I know it's hard because we've been conditioned to think this is normal and this is healthy and that's how it should be. But now you know better because you've been educated on it. So now it's on you to make that change. Because if you don't like seeing what you're seeing, then you got to think, what can I do to stop this? Or at least not be a part of it.
Would it be correct to say most of you guys are atheists? I don't mean to be offensive in any way.
I don't think mostly. Some people obviously would be. Some people would be religious. Some people would believe in God. I don't know.
But the vegan style, so, I mean, what is wrong with me, benefiting from the milk? Surely that can't be any detriment to the animal.
We have actually footage from the dairy industry. Do you want to come and have a look?
Sure.
Yeah. In order for the cows to be producing milk, obviously they have to be pregnant.
Yep.
They are forcefully impregnated, meaning they are basically raped. As soon as the baby is born, they are ripped away from the mum because they want to keep the milk for humans. So the baby is sent to the slaughterhouse if they're a boy. So the cow's being raped, being tortured, the baby's being ripped away from their mum.
The cow doesn't normally give milk? It's got to be pregnant?
They have to be pregnant, just like humans. Yeah, they're mammals. They have to be pregnant.
You sure? Every single cow that's
Absolutely.
milked
Just
is
look it
pregnant.
up on your phone. Absolutely. They're not these magical creatures that just produce free-flowing milk. Why would that happen?
I don't know, that's what I thought they were created for.
Well, because they feed us with fairy tale stories when we're growing up, and they don't
So the
actually
only way
tell
they can
us.
give milk is when they're pregnant. You're
They
100%
have to,
sure of that?
absolutely. But the baby is taken, and so the cow is crying and screaming for days after their baby. The baby is sent to the slaughterhouse if they're a boy. If they're a girl, same life as the mother. So they will become a dairy cow. And this is standard practice.
Okay, so if we stop eating, stop consuming all this, they're going to outnumber themselves, they're going to multiply exponentially. That's going to be a problem in itself.
So the way this will work is that it's going to be a slow transition because not everyone is going to go vegan overnight. See, it's a slow process and these industries have to adjust. They're not going to take over the world because these animals are bred into existence by these industries only because there is demand for it.
So what would be, you're complaining about everything, the cow's meal-treated, they're
Yeah,
raped and so on
so
and
the
so
best
forth. You do
case
the best-
scenario, you find a farm that is actually free range and all of that.
You're happy with that, aren't you?
They are still doing what these people are doing, which is using and abusing these animals for their flesh, for what comes out of their bodies, for their babies, etc., while we don't need to be doing that. So if we don't need to do that, why do we continue doing it? We're not here because we want better treatment for these animals. We just want these animals to be left alone.
Okay.
Because there is no
That's
reason.
actually the answer I wanted to hear.
Yeah.
So there is no answer to what I said.
Well,
there is no proper way of doing
what
things.
you
So I can't
said,
eat this
and-
animal full stop, period.
No, because if you went for that best case scenario, that only makes you feel better. Not the cow who's going to be killed for a sandwich. Not the chicken who's going to be
Is
killed.
that the way the cycle works? Isn't that what the food chain works? This is nature, right?
No, because
Are you going to go back and change nature because the scorpion eats the caterpillar and the caterpillar?
but that's happening in nature, and they do it because they need to do that to survive. Look around us. We're in a city. You've got supermarkets on every corner. You have money to pay and buy your food, so you have the privilege to choose.
Okay. So you're saying I've got an alternative.
You
The
do have
alternative, not the cow.
alternatives, but you
I'm still
also
on the higher
have the
chain. I'm
choice.
still on the top of the chain.
So why not, if you are, why not protect the other ones that are weaker and more vulnerable?
Because that's
Why
not
do
the
you
way
have
the food chain works.
But we're not going with that, because I don't see you going into nature and hunting a lion. You're not doing that. You're going into a supermarket and you're paying for chopped up bodies of an animal. How is that? That nature argument doesn't even exist, because that's not the world we live in today. Do you think that you need any animal products to be healthy or to survive?
Look, I'm convinced that I can live without it. I'm not a huge guy with huge muscles and so on.
Even
and so
if
forth.
you were.
Even if I was, I've heard some arguments say that I don't need animal products to do so, and that all the protein comes from them.
Exactly.
That's a
So
bit hard to believe. I've seen the evidence behind it. Again, it's hard to believe. Now that could be because I'm ignorant. It could be because
could it be because you haven't looked into it enough?
no, I have. I'm convinced, but I'm not convinced physically.
Okay.
You're used to it.
Because you haven't
So
done
if I
it.
ate vegetables all day today, I'd
Right.
be like, here, I'm still hungry.
Maybe, but you don't have to just eat vegetables, okay? There is a lot more that you can eat, and that's the dairy industry. This is how the little calves are killed. Little baby cows are killed like
For
this.
what?
Because in the dairy industry, if they've got boys, baby cows that are boys,
They're useless.
they're useless, so they just want to kill them quickly for the flesh, and that's veal. Diet is only one aspect of it, okay? Veganism goes beyond what you eat. It's what you wear, what you buy, you
Do
know.
most religions say that animals are created for our purpose and so on and so forth? You disregard that altogether?
It doesn't say that it's mandatory in order to be a
No,
good
it's not.
religious
No,
person.
yeah.
So again, it's up to that
It's in
person.
nature. That's the way. Whatever you believe.
But
in,
also,
it's
all those
created.
books have been created thousands of years ago, where
Sure.
there was no supermarkets. People had to hunt,
That's true.
right? So
Yeah.
it may not apply to us. They also talk about slavery being okay. We don't do that anymore. So I think we just need to update our knowledge, and it's fine. If someone wants to be religious, they can be religious
That's
and
a
be
good
vegan.
argument. The hunter-gatherer theory is gone.
Yeah,
We've
it's
got plenty
gone.
of food, so-
Because we drive cars and we use mobile phones now. We can't use the same argument anymore. I understand you may not want to go vegan today or tomorrow.
I'm not going to do it
Okay.
today. No.
But what I want to say is that I don't gain anything from you going vegan, okay? The more that you take your time with it, the more
These
you're
people are gonna
responsible
suffer.
for these animals. So if you take small steps for another year towards veganism, you're going to be responsible for these animals going through hell every day.
Just on the bottom of my chain. But the other ones, the chain food, they're still going to go through what they've gone through for the last
That's not
20
on
million
you.
years.
But that's not on you. You're only responsible for your own actions. You can
Wow.
only change
Well, now you
yourself,
sound
right?
like a Muslim.
Veganism is not a religion. So we're not forcing people, we're not converting people, we're just educating people.
What you think it actually fits in with what Islam can teach.
Well-
Like you just said, it's not an obligation to eat meat. If anything, they say reduce it. Eat
Right.
it once a month.
Yeah.
And that's the best case scenario.
Right.
They don't say eat it every day because it's actually not good for you. They said that 4,000 years ago, even before Islam
Right.
came in. So you're right.
Yeah, I
You're
have heard those things as well. So even back then they knew it. But especially today, where we have the privilege to choose every meal, every item that we buy, then it is our responsibility. Because if we were the victim, we wouldn't want to be put in that
But we're
position.
not. That's the thing. We don't have that perspective.
But that's why we need to really try to put
Perspective of
ourselves in there.
The lamb and the wolf is different.
I know, but we have to put ourselves in their position because we're causing their pain.